Next up, we're going to put a twist on a weekly segment. We've been bringing you our touchdown round robin, our first touchdown round robin all season long to no avail. It's probably the only part of this show that really has not, at least at some point, yielded huge returns. There's been weeks we've hit 2. There's been weeks we've told you to do a full touchdown anytime parlay with the names, and you've been able to find ways to profit off of it, hopefully. However, we don't like just ramming our head into a wall, Dave. That's not fun for anybody. So we're switching gears this week. We are going to officially, for the first time ever, unveil a multi-touchdown round robin. We're looking for players who can get in the end zone twice this week, or get yourself a 32-1 anytime touchdown parlay. Where do we go?
Yeah, so I know. Yeah, we're switching it up just real quick, It's okay to do that. We can fall into a little bit of a formula sometimes. We do really like the first TD round robin. We've had a little bit of success, caught a couple times 2s, times 3 in week 1. Kind of maybe set us up for not unrealistic expectations, but we're like, all right, we've got the formula for this year and we're going to roll with it. So we're switching it up because we're going to follow the data and look at the spots that are most favorable to us. And when you consider first touchdowns give you one chance in the whole game, you could be dead after 5 minutes. Even if we like the matchup, it doesn't always go that way. Things can get quirky with picks and returns and whatnot. And for these, we get the whole game to cash in for 2 touchdowns. Doesn't matter if they get it first or whenever. So we're going to do that this week. And we got a nice blend of players. We'll pull it up here and go through it. We'll start off with Ja'Marr Chase at 16% for 2 touchdowns. You saw what the Steelers just did to the Dolphins on Monday night. Only 224 passing yards by Aaron Rodgers, but a pair of touchdowns. He completed 23 of 27 passes. Miami could not stop anyone. They were jumping routes early. They couldn't tackle anybody. That DK Metcalf touchdown was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Now you have the most targeted player in the NFL who can do stuff like that all the time. He hasn't scored with Burrow back. I really think that's going to be a top priority for them as they near these final 3 games and kind of try to figure out what the future is in Cincinnati. So he's getting a Fins defense that's allowed 22 passing TDs this year, 1.2 per game to wide receivers over the past 5 weeks, 26th worst red zone defense in that span. Next up, we're going with Amon-Ra, who just did this, 15% for a pair. Steelers passing defense isn't very good, 23 touchdowns this year, a little bit better lately, but Amon-Ra's elite. We know this. He's got 3 multi-touchdown games this year, just had one last week. He's the highest in this game for 2+ besides Gibbs at a big 30%, but that'll cost you plus 210 odds. We know he's done this. We've seen him do this. Pick him here in a spot that the Lions are pretty hungry for a dub. Trey McBride of the Cardinals, 12% here. Talked about the Falcons defense struggling lately. And while I mentioned it's been solid against tight ends, McBride is not your average tight end. Very much not so. He leads the league in tight end receiving yards. His 10 touchdowns are tied for 3rd in the NFL. He has 2 multi-touchdown games this year. Just last week, had his best game of the season against a great defense. Granted, negative game script. Could even be the same case here. 58% red zone conversion rate for Falcons opponents this year. Looking for a pair of touchdowns from McBride. Travion Henderson, Patriots, 11%. This is now your offensive rookie of the year favorite, and it's because he has 3 multi-touchdown games since taking over in week 10. He just had another one last week. The Ravens rushing defense has improved considerably, but Henderson is the model's favorite to score in this game by a wide margin. Most dangerous player for 2+ pretty much in the entire NFL lately, and getting almost fair odds here. Finally, Ladd McConkey. We talked about him. 8% here, but plus 1,100 is a perfectly fair price. These are longest odds. Dallas's passing game stinks. We've got Hampton at 11% to score twice, but a bit juicier premium at plus 650 odds, which should be plus 800 for a fair price. And those lines aren't up on the books right now, so not really sure what's going on with the running game and the passing game as far as the running backs are concerned. Ladd is much better priced. He is absolutely due for some positive regression against a team allowing the most passing touchdowns in the NFL. One thing that really stands out about these is they're pretty much all fair odds, or maybe even a tiny bit of value. Ja'Marr Chase would be the furthest away, but he's not even that far off. I think you'd want him at like plus 525. The rest are pretty much right in line with our model. We don't need the first touchdown, but we do need a pair. And these 5 guys all sit pretty considerably high up in our model's projections to do so. Anytime TD parlay is a really beefy plus 32.91. Not paying a lot of juice on these guys, as we often have with the first TD probabilities. If you go for the anytime, they're all 43% to score. One, besides Ladd, who is 38%. And you're even getting plus money on some premier TD scorers like Henderson and McBride. So it seems like some really good spots for these guys, and the model likes them all.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I feel like my biggest gripe, if any gripe, I mean, I'm not going to act like I didn't play the first touchdown round robin every week too, but it would drive me crazy if you just lose the first 5 seconds after the red zone kicks off, right? It's like this gives you a little more shelf life. You want to let this marinate a little bit. And yeah, all these guys are highly likely to find the end zone at least once. I love the McConkey play as the long shot. Nothing better than hitting the longest leg of a round robin. So count me in. Dimers, the company that is constantly seeking innovation in sports betting, changing things up for us this week to hopefully find some success with our touchdown round robin. Thank you, Dave. And reminder, Dimers Pro has probabilities for not just first touchdown or anytime touchdown, but 2+ and 3+ touchdown probabilities. I've been scouring through those for the Thursday night game all afternoon, and you can get those for every single game in the entire NFL slate every single week. Make sure you take advantage